Couldn't be outdoors with all the equipment and the crosswinds. This is our segment where we're talking to Blue Ridge City Council candidates for mayor. We're talking to Blue Ridge City candidates for mayor and candidates for council. And my next guest is Miss Jane Whaley, a candidate for Blue Ridge City Council. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let me get this out of the way. We're going to you're our FYN Mike Huckabee.
I know. We had so much
and you
fun.
know, I remember the night when Mike Huckabee decided he was running for president of the United States, and obviously the network had to say, well, while you're running, you know, you can't keep your show. So because this is we're used to you, this Miss Jane Whaley, we're used to being at her residence over on Sycamore Crossing, just for clarification, and that's where you're at over there. Last Friday, I want to start here.
All right.
Last Friday, we're sitting there, and you have been a part of our all-star panel for, well, last year and this year when you're available, and we have so much fun. You left and went and qualified. Okay, I'm going to say in front of the camera, live on, why didn't you tell me? I mean, my God, I mean, we're sitting there and we had our show, and I had no idea you were doing this.
Well, I really didn't either. I thought about it for about a year or two. I knew we had to make a change somehow in Blue Ridge, and I thought about it. And after the show, I talked with some people, and they said, go down there and just sign up right now, just go. So I got into my car, didn't tell my mom, didn't tell my husband, didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell you. I marched right down there and signed up.
Well, I later in the day, Natalie is our Fannin County reporter, and I sent her a message last Friday, and I said, your assignment today is to know come 4 o'clock or whatever the deadline is, who is running for city council and who is not. And then later in the day, I look at who's on the list, and I said, well, you couldn't have told me. So, all right. So you went down last Friday. You're a candidate. You are what post is it?
Post 1.
Post 1. Post 1 is currently held by Harold Herndon, an incumbent that is seeking re-election. So that is your opponent, and you decided to run. Let's start with what are the basic reasons? Basic reasons why you decided to run for city council.
Well, Blue Ridge has been, as you know, in disarray, and for a long time. The city is just disconnected all around with the people, with the county, with the Blue Ridge City Council has basically disconnected themselves from the citizens. And we have got to change that, because we're on the cusp. The future of Blue Ridge is so important, and right now it's at a point where you can make it better, or it can really get into a problem. So what I want to do, and what I've thought about and wanted to do for a long time, is my look on being a city council member is that I want to serve the people of this city. When people are elected to serve, a lot of people forget that word serve. And that's exactly what I want to do. And what does serve mean? In my view, serve means you listen to your constituents. And if you don't listen and hear what they say and know how they feel, that's Arkansas talk for feel.
I'm okay with that. I fit right in.
If you don't understand their concerns and their desires and their dreams, you cannot act on what they want. You don't go up there to do what Jane Whaley wants to do. I want to be the representative for every person in this city. I want to hear the people who think differently than I do. I want to know why, and I want to see, hey, that may be a good idea. I want to listen to everybody, and that hasn't happened. Of course, Rhonda Thomas and the mayor, fabulous. They listen and they try, but there's just there's a need for 5 people on that council that care about the city, want to listen to the citizens, want to do things in proper order.
I have a couple questions on that. Some of the things. Now, do you mind me asking, how long have you been like in Fannin County? I mean, how long have you been here?
Almost 30 years.
30 years.
30.
So you don't, well, I'm not checking your memory, but you
Well,
no, I'm not checking your memory, but you almost like don't remember, but you don't really, this turns into home after so long, does it? Because I mean, I say that for myself, and there is some question what people have of how long somebody's been somewhere, kind of like a test on whether you're, I personally have been here since 2000, middle of 2000, and this is home to me now.
Like I said on the program last week, the All-Star panel, I've been here in Blue Ridge longer than I've been anywhere, the town I was born in. And the minute my husband and I, Bill, saw Blue Ridge, when we drove through looking for a place we wanted to retire, it was it, period. So that was almost 30 years ago. And what he said to me was, Jane, I want to come to this town. I want to practice medicine. I don't care if they pay me in chickens and eggs and tomatoes, because
that's pretty good pay
and
around here.
They do, and they still do. And I, like that. But he said, this is going to be our home. That was 30 years ago. I want to know the people. I want to know who lives here. And I want to be not only their physician, but their friend. And that's what we've been striving to do all this time. And we love this city. And we love the city, the county. We love the people in this town.
How important is it to you, because you decided to run, what is like some of the things that the future of Blue Ridge has to embrace, has to do? I mean, what are some of the things for the future of this city that have to be
done?
Yeah, just have to be done.
For me, the most important thing to do and to address properly is the infrastructure of this town. It's pouring rain again today. We flooded about a month ago. And the problem is, you may have read in the paper how this is getting done, that's getting done, but you need to analyze what is getting done and in what order. And let me give you an example. For instance, let's take your home. If you have a home that the water pipes are leaking, the air conditioner doesn't work if you have one, there's a hole in the wall, there's a leak in the ceiling, you don't decide to paint that house. You fix the water line, you fix the hole in your ceiling so you don't get rained on, and then after you've allotted what you've saved for those big repairs, then you paint the house. So my view is that many of the things that most of the city council has voted on have been painting the house. Yes, the park is lovely, but we have drains and sewer issues that are encroaching upon the running of this city. And it can bring this city to a halt. And so I think that those things need to be addressed first.
So these are things that may not sound attractive or interesting or get the big news and the big headlines, but it's not going to flow downhill much longer if we don't fix things.
And what will get the big headline is sewer lines are down. You can't flush your toilet. That will get the big headlines. And there are so many things. And Ken Gaddis is running. He's a plumber, as you know. He knows all about that. He knows where to start. And I think we'd make a good team.
So that's one of so that's one of the strongest reasons why you and you say painting the house, not negative, and these are my words, not negative in any way, but everybody can get their head wrapped around the park, but we got some serious things that are not being addressed. Is that
exactly a priority in what you do? And it's just a logical progression. Another thing is spending the money wisely, which is kind of the same thing, but it's been proven just in one incident where the council spent $40,000 on something that was basically ludicrous. That is a lot of money. How many people could pay their water bill with that? I mean, that money could have been distributed in many ways into this town, and that was just in my view, a frivolous effort and totally unnecessary, and not thinking about the citizens of this city.
That's
So
a couple,
that's one example.
you know, that to me, when you use that number, that's a couple salaries.
Yes, that is a couple of salaries.
So-
That is kids going to school. That's being able to lower our taxes because we have more money in the coffers. And it goes on and on. For instance, there was a grant that the city had that the city gave back $120,000 because the powers that be just decided, well, we don't want to do it the way that grant was going to ask us to do it, which was a perfect plan as far as I was concerned. They sent back $120,000. That's just unbelievable to me.
We've got a long campaign. We're going to invite all the candidates. I want you to know out there for FYNTV.com, every candidate is welcome to come and announce their candidacy, be on the show, and actually, if you have an opponent and you would like to join your opponent and maybe discuss some of the issues, we'll be glad to do that too as this campaign moves along. Anything in closing, Ms. Whaley, that you'd like to say to the voters, or anything that you wanted to, you know, get across this morning before we leave?
Well, I'd like to say that my actions speak louder than my words. We have invested in this city and in this county. We've given walking parks, and I've tried to build a building that will serve the people in this town to come and enjoy the place at Sycamore and sit and have a cup of coffee or tea. And I will not let you down. I want to ask for your vote. If you don't know me, my name again is Jane Whaley. I want to ask for your support, ask for your vote. Look at what I've done in the city to show that I love it. And it was not a personal issue at all. It was just to give back to this town. And being a council member is hard work. It is not a frivolous thing. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. If you're going to do it right, I would like to have meetings once a month for the citizens to come talk with me in private about what they want to be, what they want to talk about, or what they need in the city. I think it's very important that the citizens are allowed to speak in the city council meetings, to have a voice heard. We are totally shut down. We have no say in one issue that comes about because no one's allowed to talk, period. So that would be a priority. Yes, we have interaction in the council meetings. We listen to the people in this town, and then we act on what they want to do. I'm representing them. That's what I would be doing. So I ask for your vote for post 1, Jane Whaley.
Okay.
I'm not on the big council in the what were we? Oh yeah. The
All-Star
panel. I'm gonna miss you guys.
Well, we're going to miss you too, and you caught us off guard. So we're excited. We're excited to have you here this morning. And don't forget, all candidates for Blue Ridge City Council and Mayor are welcome to come on the show. You can get in touch with us, Chief at FetcherNews.com, and schedule coming on the show maybe next week. So I'm your host, BKP. This is Jane Whaley, council candidate for Blue Ridge City Council. Post one. And we will be back. Richie and I are going to talk about a couple things to close out the morning. All right? Take us a break, Richie.